So my mum was diagnosed with motor neuron disease in June 2022, and she decided very quickly that she wanted to go to Dignitas. She was an academic, so she'd done research about what the disease would entail for her going forward, and she did not want to see it through to the end because she would have been bedbound with no way of moving or, being the person that she wanted to be.
And she couldn't involve the family because you would have then been criminalised.
Yeah, so she decided that only my dad would go with her. My sister and I would stay behind because she wanted to protect us. We had to keep the entire ordeal secret from everybody around us because anybody could have told the police or stopped us.
And this has had, obviously, a profound impact on you and your health. How did you deal with it?
It was incredibly difficult. I had to sort of disassociate myself from the main emotions because the main thing I had to think was, what does mum need? What does dad need? So you really put them in front of yourself. So I had to really think about, well, what's the next thing that we need to do next? What's the next thing that mum needs? And of course that took a lot out of me.
You told me earlier when we were having a chat, you're extremely nervous. Why are you so nervous? Because the expectancy is this bill will pass, but you're not convinced.
There's been a lot of press coverage and there's been a lot of, people saying that MPs are switching, but the press like to create a two-horse race. So I'm only nervous because of mainly how much it means. That's why I'm so nervous. It's just, it means so much to my sister and I who had to go through that ordeal. It means so much to those around me who have been through similar ordeals. So I really want this change for dignity and choice. So some people are cautiously optimistic. I am slightly, but I'm mainly nervous because of how much it means.
Katie, thank you so much for sharing your story. So Katie just one of the campaigners here today because she has obviously a very personal connection to the issue, and the campaigners on the other side equally invested, and we're going to speak to one of them now, Peter, who has concerns about safeguarding. Peter, thank you for joining us live on Sky News. What is your objection to assisted dying legislation? Why do you not want to see it introduced in this country?
What we all agree on is having quality of life, and this is not what that bill promotes. This bill is incredibly dangerous, especially to the disabled community. It offers people a way out when all systems around them are failing. We look at social care, we look at underfunded palliative care, we look at difficulties accessing NHS services, all put people in a position where all of a sudden a bill like assisted suicide starts to look very attractive.
I've spoken to disability campaigners about this issue in the past, and I've raised their concerns with Kim Leadbetter, and she says disabled people have nothing to worry about. They will not be impacted by assisted dying legislation. You don't accept that. You think this is the start, potentially, of a slippery slope?
Absolutely. Even with the legislation, the way it's been written at the moment, there's so much scope for disabled people to fit that criteria. We've seen in other countries where it's been introduced, like the medical assisted dying program in Canada, the expansion over a number of years. And it doesn't just include disabled people anymore. It includes people facing social issues, people who are lonely. So the really dangerous thing about this as well is that the bill is so reliant on other legislation. So this bill could then be further developed with stealth legislation that won't be put under the scrutiny that full legislation is put under.
Yeah. Campaigners for assisted dying say that this is the most heavily scrutinised and safeguarded bill, safeguarded legislation anywhere in the world. You don't accept that. You're not happy with the safeguards. You think vulnerable people are still at risk.
Absolutely. As I say, the process this has been through, it has not been scrutinised as much as it should have. We have the most serious thing we're talking about here, a matter of life and death, and changes to society that can't be undone. The outcome of this is so final for people, and no, it's not gone through the right scrutiny. We've not had disabled people's voices heard through the committee stage. We've not had experts who oppose this from other countries brought in. We've not had a full democratic approach to this. So no, I totally disagree that this has gone through that full scrutiny as it should have.
My last question to you, Peter, and thank you for speaking to us here. It's expected to go through. We don't know if it will. What would it mean to you living in a society where assisted dying is legalised?
Well, if this gets passed today, it will go to the House of Lords, and then we will continue to fight it in any way we can, because we believe that this should not end up in society. I think as this comes through, we'll recognise all the things that we're saying now. We'll recognise all the holes, we'll recognise the lack of thought, we'll see that it can't be delivered in the way it is, and then the MPs that have voted for it will have to reckon with that. And it will put disabled people at a further disadvantage. It will devalue disabled lives, and that across systems like social care that's underfunded, palliative care that's underfunded, the benefit system that's underfunded. This is going to put additional pressure on them to say, actually, there's another option now, so why are we going to put funding into that?